Good boy. This is George and his week 3 recap. Good boy, buddy. So doing a quick refresher, a quick start of charging our clicker. This week I definitely don't have to do it as many times. He knows that that click means food. Hey, good boy. Okay. I'm gonna release him with a reset cookie. Good boy, George. Yeah. Good job, handsome man. All right, and then I got him in his gear for today. So for his collar, I'm using what's called a martingale collar. George. I stuck my hand right through that collar. I showed George that I had food. And then as soon as he snuck his head through for that food, I slipped the collar over his head. Sit. Good. And then once the collar was completely on, that is when I let George have the food. Now for practicing today, I already had my leash attached. Now while we're on the leash, we're going to practice following that food lure. Good boy. Good job, George. Yeah. You good boy. George. Good job. So he's very attached to that food. Good boy. Oh, you found a stray snack. George. Good job, buddy. So the purpose of this for this week is to really make sure that he's okay walking on a leash. Sometimes puppies go home and they're absolutely terrified of walking on a leash. Okay. So we want to make sure that he's okay with it, not scared. George, sit. I'm also going to ask him for some positions while he's on the leash to make sure that he can offer those as well. What a good boy. Okay. I'll drop the leash for this one. Hi, ready? Okay. George. Good boy, buddy. Yeah. George. Good job, sir. Okay. Next thing that I want to work on with him is going to be our hand targets. Touch. Good. So hand targets this week, make sure we're practicing with both hands. Touch. Come on, you gotta get up out of your sit, buddy. Oh boy. Let me get some good food. Here, let's go get it. Come on. All right, so as we saw with those hand targets right there, he offered a hand target with my right hand, no problem. Once I asked for a hand target with the left hand, that's when he did not want to be so willing. So when that happens, I'm going to get food back out for the first rep, and then I'll try again without food. What do I have, buddy? Ready? Touch. Good boy. So I'm going to do 2 reps with food. Good boy, touch. Oh yeah, we like that, right? Touch. Good boy. And then that 3rd rep right there, I did a flat palm, no food, asked for my hand target. As soon as I felt his nose, I still clicked and I fed him. Touch. Good. So that was no food, click, and then feed. George, touch. Yes, good boy. A little hesitation to start. I think he was like, oh, I know you don't have food. I don't really wanna. But he did, so good boy. I'm now going to get this collar off. Oh my gosh, you're so fluffy. So same way I put the collar on, I'm going to present food to George, wiggle that collar up and over. As soon as it's off, then I'm going to let him have that food. Good boy, buddy. All right, and I'm going to go back into practicing just my position changes with that leash off. So George is already in a sit, so I'll release him. Okay. George, sit. Very good boy. I know I dropped it, I'm sorry. Oh, that's a good down. Ready? Okay. And we'll practice that. Down. So close. Come on, I know you can do it. Yes, good boy. Very good boy. So with our down this week, we're starting by asking first with just our verbal cue, giving him a few seconds to think about it. So George, he may have taken a little bit longer just now to get into this position. But after he thought about it, he's like, okay, what do I need to do to get that food? He then slid into his nice down, and I clicked as soon as he was in position, and I still fed him for that. And then we're coming in with our duration, our follow-up cookies. Okay. And then I want to release him, and we'll try that again. Down. Very good boy, buddy. Oh, but we want to stay in that position. Good job. So he slid into that position. As I was going to feed him, you may have saw that he almost popped up. It's okay. It's okay if that happens. So if you asked for a down and he popped up to go for that food, don't feed him until he's back in that down position. Very good boy. And then the more we practice that, the more we don't feed him in the position that we didn't ask for, he'll learn that as long as he stays in that position, he's going to get food. Right, good boy? Okay. Good job, sir. All right, the next thing that I want to work on is going to be his mat. So for the mat this week, we're going to keep it stationary. Go to your mat. That is so close, but not all the way. Good boy. In addition to keeping the mat stationary, we're going to start practicing getting some steps away. Good. So I'm going to step in one direction. Oops. Good job. So what happened there is I took my step away. I looked over my shoulder to make sure that George was still there. Good boy. Okay. And then as I was turning my back, he popped up. I cued that with an oops. Go to your mat. Good boy. And as soon as I got him back onto his mat, I'm not feeding him for that. So we're not going to feed the oops moments where he breaks his position. Good boy. I'm then going to wait a few seconds, maybe try to do an easy repetition. And then I'm going to click and feed him for that, and then release him, and we'll reset the whole thing. Okay. Go to your mat. Good boy. This mat is also a little small for him. So when you're picking your mat for this skill at home, I would make sure that it's a mat where easily his whole body will fit on it. Right now, it's small. He does fit, but there is a lot of opportunity for him to have part of his body off the mat. And I want to make sure that we're capturing the picture that your whole body needs to be on this mat before you get food. Very good boy. Yeah, I love that you're in that down. Okay. Occasionally go back to step one where you move it. Go to your mat. just to make sure that this mat could be anywhere in the room, and when you tell him to go over to it, he will. Good boy. Good job, buddy. All right, George. Okay. Good job, sir. All right. All right, good boy. We're going to do your crate next. Crate. Wow, good boy. Oh, I got to move the camera. Okay. Good boy, staying in there. Okay. All right, so for the crate this week, we are clicking and feeding as soon as we're 4 paws in. Clicking and feeding as soon as I get that door shut. And then we're going to practice taking some steps away like we did with the mat. My goal with this is I want to be able to take steps away and George stays nice and calm. So he's not pawing, he's not whining, he's not barking. Good boy. Good job, sir. And then when I'm ready to release him, I'm going to have food ready. Oh, good boy. I'm going to open the door. George, okay. And as soon as I see that he's not going to try to leave himself, great. That's when I will release him with my release word. Good boy. And when you guys are practicing this at home, you could practice it maybe where you walk off and go do some dishes, go fold some laundry, just to have him used to the fact that he might be in his crate as you need to do some tasks where you can't supervise him so closely. Good boy. Another thing you could practice is maybe sitting down. Make sure he can stay calm for that. Good boy. That was a hard one, huh? Good job, buddy. All right. Okay. What a good boy. Yeah. Oh my gosh, is that so yummy? All right, so the final thing that I want to work on with George is going to be continuing with our different types of body handling. So we're continuing everything that we've worked on since week 1. With him, we're going to build some duration of how long I hold him in certain positions. Yes. Good boy. A new step this week. Oh, let me move the camera again. Bubby, we need to make sure we see you. A new step this week was adding in what's called a little bear hug. Yes, good. Very quick. So very quick when we introduce this step. Eventually we could build some duration if this type of hold is needed. Yes, good boy. Being a bigger dog, they may try to hold him like that when he goes to the vet. Yes. But I'm hopeful that with our continued body handling, we can do it where George is just focused on some food at one hand and very minimal handling, yes, is needed for his future veterinary care. Very good boy. So we continued practicing holding that tail with some duration. We're going to continue practicing flipping our ears. We're going to add massage, move that ear as if we might be trying to look in it. Yes. Good boy. And then practicing lifting that lip. Yes, good job. This week with the lip, we are getting further back. Okay. I'll do the same thing on the other side. He's a good boy, buddy. Yes. Good boy. I know. Yes. Good boy, sir. Okay. Come here. Continuing practicing our paw handling. You're very pawsy, buddy. I'm going to have him attached to food, this hand, as that other hand comes in for the handling. Good. So this week with our paws, we are trying to isolate those toes a little more, really handle those toes for more duration. Yes, good job, bud. We have to try to remember how long will a nail trim take. So how long is it going to be that I'm touching those toes, trying to get nail trimmers up to them? Yes. Good boy. And then with our back paws, continuing the same thing. So being able to lift that paw, touch those toes. I know, it's so hard standing on 3 legs. Yes. Good boy. All right, let's rotate to the other side. This hand. Good. I know, come here. Very good boy. Yes. Good job. Okay. And then with our grooming tools this week, last week we did the flat side of the brush. So I'm going to warm him up with an easy swipe of that. And then I'm going to get to my bristle side. So bristle side, swipe. Good boy. Swiping near all the areas that will need to be brushed. Good. So up at his head. Oh, come here. That's it. Good. Under his neck and onto his chest. Good job, buddy. Very good boy. Yeah, okay, ready? Okay. Good job, sir. Hang on, give me 1 second. And then the final thing for this week was introducing a noisy piece of equipment. So for George, I'm using the Dremel. The Dremel is really nice for nails. If you could get your puppies used to it at a young age, it'll be really nice as he gets older, where you could just use the Dremel to trim back and file his nails. So the way I typically do this is pretty quiet, but I am going to turn it on behind my back to start. And as soon as it turns on, I'm going to start dropping some food. So Dremel's on. I'm going to give him a piece of food. I'm going to bring it out to the side just to increase that volume. After a few pieces, I'm going to turn the Dremel off and then let him check it out if he wants to. What is that? He's like, I don't care. I just want food. So again, we'll start it behind our back. Good boy. Bring it out so it's a little louder. Right here, George. Good boy. And same thing, after a few pieces of food, once he's done with that final piece, I'll turn it off and set it out for him to check it out if he wants to. All right, but that is it for George's week 3 recap. Okay.